We're at the second intermission of our three broadcasts from Buffalo, Winnipeg, and Montreal. Jennifer Botterill, Kevin Bieksa, Kelly Rudy. Thoughts on the games in just a second, but Saturday headlines with Elliot Friedman is first. And Elliot, Alexander Georgiev, what just happened?
Well, early in the second period of this game, Nashville was up 4-2, and on the 4-2 goal, I don't know if you really see it, but he gets an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and actually the Avalanche take him out of the game. And what he did was he shot the puck there, and it actually, I think, hit the glass and went into the crowd. So he gets the penalty. They took him out. They've rallied to go 6-4 ahead 6-4 behind a Noonan. But we'll see if the league does anything with this. They generally frown on players shooting pucks or throwing sticks into the crowds. You remember Matt Sundin getting a game all those years ago. So we'll see if anything comes of it.
So we were tracking at Mattamy Center the OHL Cup today. The Oakville Rangers are champs. Highlights coming up here in just a second. You're also following big names in the NCAA, the chase for the Frozen Four.
Yes. So this time of year, there's a lot of players like the CHL. These are all best of sevens, but in the NCAA, a lot of these are one game and knockout. And NHL fans wonder, what is this going to mean for a player on my favorite team? And earlier tonight, Minnesota was leading Boston University 2-0, and Canadiens fans were starting to wonder, does this mean we could have a Lane Hudson sighting? And this is the go-ahead goal scored by Hudson himself, 4-3. They're up late in the third period. Macklin Celebrini has 2 assists. Now, the Frozen Four isn't until the 11th and 13th of April, so it would be late in the NHL season if he does decide to want to come out. But the Canadiens fans are watching this tonight. Late, Boston University is winning. There is another player, a lot of NHL teams were keeping an eye on, a defenseman by the name of Scott Morrow. Morrow was the 40th overall pick in the 2021 draft. He has one more year of eligibility, but there were a number of teams wondering if Carolina was going to be able to sign him and maybe might have to trade him because they couldn't sign him for next year. However, it appears as if those concerns have dissipated, and it looks like he is going to sign in Carolina, barring any major changes, much to the disappointment of some other teams that were interested. The other situation we want to keep an eye on is here in the CHL, north of the border. 14-year-old Landon DuPont of Calgary is expected to receive exceptional status as soon as next week. Now, Everett won the WHL lottery and will have the #1 overall pick. The announcement has not been made on DuPont yet, but the belief is it will be given to him next week. He will become the second player ever to get it in the WHL. It allows you to play full-time as a 15-year-old. Connor Bedard was the first, so congratulations upcoming apparently to DuPont and to Everett, which will get to draft him first overall in the WHL.
I should give you a longer breather, Elliot, but I'll just say the ECHL.
Yes. The ECHL, so there are 2 Canadian teams in the ECHL, Trois-Rivières, which is Montreal's team, and Newfoundland, which is Toronto's team. And barring a major change on Tuesday, both of these 2 teams could have their operations suspended if a sale cannot be worked out. Now, the same owner owns the 2 teams, but there's been a lengthy behind-the-scenes battle over payments to the cities and some of the NHL teams, and they've put a deadline. And if it isn't solved by Tuesday, then there's going to be a board meeting, and they're going to suspend operations of the team. Now, there's a lot of players there who are concerned, and of course, hockey in Canada, you don't like to see franchises disband or fold or suspended. There is hope this will be able to be sorted out for next year in some of these cases, but the players are expected to become unrestricted free agents, although there is things being worked on to make sure they are paid through the end of their season. So unfortunate, no question about it, and hopefully long-term it can be worked out, especially Newfoundland. We all know what a great hockey province that is.
Absolutely, Elliot. Exceptional status. You just earned it for battling through there. Thank you for that.
32 gasps of air.
So I mentioned the OHL Cup. This was at Mattamy Center. This is the championship for U16 AAAs in Ontario. It's a great tournament, and that's Ethan Belchet's in the semi against North York. So keep an eye out on him. He's 6'4". You've got to be 15 years.
Shot.
I know, isn't that something?
Small goalie, though.
Here's the winner coming up, though. Matthew Ross against Vaughan. And Jennifer, you know Vaughan because Adrian Lamonaco coaches the Mississauga Rebels, who lost to Vaughan.
They did. But, I mean, it was a great tournament. I saw some of the action this week. I mean, what a finish. It was a close one in the final 2, Ron.
That's Jake Saranic, the netminder. He made 25 saves today. Callum Croscurry is a defenseman for the Rangers. He's exceptional. Great teams. And just a really big victory for the Oakville
That was
Rangers.
Caleb Mahaltra on the losing Vaughan Kings
Manny's
team,
kid.
son of Manny's team. He's a good player, too.
Is he good
really
face-offs?
You've got to be.
You're in that family. You better be.
Think. Yeah.
And congratulations to the Rebels and Adrian. They had a great tournament. Made it to the quarters.
That's fantastic for you, Adrian. So you're tracking the Winnipeg-Ottawa game, and 2 goals for Ottawa. Jen, what happened there?
Yeah, so I feel like if you're on the ice, right, you've got to be ready for any mistakes or turnovers. And the Ottawa Senators did a great job of that in the second period. So here in Winnipeg, looks like they can get possession. This is a turnover, right, at that blue line. And then Ottawa is ready. You've got numbers. At one point, this looks like a 4-on-1. Beautiful feed by Brandstrom across in the passing play. Nice finish. I mean, Hellbuck, there's no chance. Great deception on that one. So this is a different setup for this goal. This time it's in the zone. Winnipeg, just a strange fall by Niederreiter. And then Tkachuk gets the puck. All kinds of bounces, follow the bouncing puck. But Winnipeg, nobody's got the players. Greg comes in wide open to finish. Just a bizarre mess in their defensive zone. But hey, the Sens are ready. Bury it. Nice little celebration by Greg and Tkachuk afterwards for that one.
Over at Buffalo, it's like a tailgate party tonight. Great atmosphere. Toronto's got the 2-zip lead, so you got some good and some bad Nick Robertson.
Well, and you heard Craig and Chris talking about that line and how good they are and how important they can be. And Robertson, listen, Craig was all over it with this great release, great pass, but look how quickly Robertson gets it through, goes 5-hole. We know how great that shot has to be, that goaltender in that situation. But here's the bad, unfortunately. If you want to position in the playoffs, you can't be turning the puck over, in particular to good players like Tuck, and then he goes for a little skate, just a sweeping effort defensively. He's got to tidy that up.
The best leaf tonight for me, other than Samsonov, has been Nylander. And this is Nylander at his best. And when he's not at his best, maybe sometimes he's turning over pucks and he's not quite making the play. But when he's at his best, he reminds me of like a Zetterberg or the Sedins in their prime. Like, he protects the puck very well. He draws a lot of guys to him, but, you know, he's not the guy who's going to chip it in and go out-battle a D and get it back. But when he does have the puck, he's dynamic. He can make moves like that on Bo Byram, which is a pretty... But watch just the puck protection. He draws a penalty here, and he's going to have another play like this later in the period where, you know, this is his shot right here. But he's going to have another play where he gets the puck here, and watch with a guy on him. And, I mean, he's not a big guy, but he's very hard to get the puck off of, and that's Nylander at his best.
Toronto 2-zip there. Honorable mention to Jordan Stahl. He's got the goal. The Carolina Hurricanes lead the Montreal Canadiens. That's where we sit through 40 minutes of play. Our coverage on Hockey Night in Canada on this Easter Saturday continues.